Hi everybody, it's Tommy Jo from Bird Street Studio, and I was just here in the craft room doing some in-between projects. And you know, I'm trying to use up a lot of this paper that I got many years ago. And so what I thought is I would just get out my scraps and use these as collage bases, really. So that's what I'm going to do. So I thought we would just have a chat and I would collage and maybe make something out of it when we're done. So I do need my glue book, which I have buried. Excuse me. I have all these pieces of paper that were leftovers from a journal that I'm kind of working on. I probably should have started that journal with you on camera, but I didn't because I really wasn't sure what direction it was going in. So I'm just going to get my glue stick and I'm going to just start adding these strips first. And then we're probably going to have to do some sewing to make sure that they stay on. The other thing you can do with these strips is I've got double-sided tape, and they make great edges with double-sided tape. I'm not going to totally cover up this piece because I don't know how it's going to look if there were some parts of it showing through. I don't know. You know, we could maybe make a tag out of it or see what's going on. Anyways, I think I'll just run this across like this. So how is everybody doing today? It started out being very sunny today, and it's now gotten kind of dingy outside. Went to the gym earlier and trying to come up with, we started back at the gym. I haven't gone in years since the virus. I had hip replacement. I think I said that in another video, and I didn't feel real safe there after the virus hit or whatever. So anyways, I hadn't been back. That's how many years it's been. And other than my pool and a recumbent bike, I don't get a whole heck of a lot of exercise other than walking. So decided to take advantage of my Medicare advantage, and there are gyms that are free, and there's one really close to my house, so thought I'd rejoin and see about doing something. So anyways, I'm not in very good shape. Strength and stamina wise, I think. On days that I work, because I work part-time, and on days that I work, I can usually get quite a few steps in. But on days that I don't work, that I'm in the craft room, I don't get very many steps at all. And I can't honestly say that I feel like getting up from crafting and going out and exercising. Because honestly, if I had my druthers, I'd like to be right here the whole time. Okay, so I'm not sure what I feel about that, really, too much. I don't know. But let's see what else we got. Oh, we got something here that's kind of blue colored. We could maybe put right there. Anyways, I have a stack of papers on my table here that I really need to figure out what to do with them. These are the papers that I don't normally use, or if I print an extra digital or something and it doesn't really go with anything, and you know, that kind of stuff. So that's going to be a project of mine, is to try to get through some of this stuff. What do you guys do with your papers? And, oh, look at this one. This one's like this, but it came off of, must be that it came off of that sheet. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Well, kind of like that color, so I'm going to use that side. How's that? Like, you know, I mean, I see people scrap busting, but I'll be honest with you, everybody else's scraps looks like so cool. They have, you know, old papers and, oh my gosh, they just have some really cool scraps. My scraps are like, nothing matches, nothing, there's nothing vintage about them. They're, you know, scrapbook papers that I'm trying to use up. I have not bought any scrapbooking paper or anything to make journals. I do get digitals. There are a couple people who I love their digitals, so I do try to frequent their shops when I can and see if they have anything new that interests me. And when I first started journaling, I bought, I don't know, maybe, well, Louisa Heinzel started a design team, and then for some reason she had to stop it, and so I only was on her design team for a short time, but I loved it, and I loved her digitals, and that's why I really wanted to be on her design team, because I love her style. But then again, I have a lot of different styles that I like, so anyways, so I do have some digitals from when I first started, and I try to use them and make, you know, journals, whatever. Well, I don't know what I think of this paper. What do you think? Yikes. Anyways, so I have digitals, and I mix and match digitals too. So I use digitals from a couple different digital designers for my journals, depending on what journal I'm making. If somebody has paper in their kit that matches something that I'm doing, then I just kind of grab that. So I do a lot of mix and matching. Also, I love craft paper, as you know. So I use a lot of craft paper for a lot of different things. Wow, I'm going to end up filling this whole thing with just these strips, I think. I don't know. Anyways, other people have such beautiful scraps that I like probably wouldn't even call them scraps, honestly. Move that baby up a little bit. There we go. But if you follow like Rachel at Roxy Creations, if you ever saw her table, like her scrap table, oh my heck. I just, like, I would grab anything off that table. It's pretty cool. Anyways, a lot of times I've been doing her challenges, and a lot of times I feel like I can't do the challenge the same way because she has such beautiful scraps that she uses, pieces. Her stock of digitals is just gorgeous. You know, she's in Italy, so she has a lot of that kind of papers and documents and books, and they're just gorgeous. And I don't have the stash that she has, or the place to get those things. I mean, you'd have to shop, and I'll be honest with you, I do shop for what I need, but my tendency is not to go out and buy things just to create a stash, you know, of stuff. So I buy things that are necessary. Like I buy glue, I buy, you know, sometimes I buy stamps and inks and stuff like that. If I think that it's something that I will use and it's not a fad item, I will buy it. But usually papers and stuff like that, I copy dye my own papers. I actually color dye my own papers. I use digitals, so I do that. But and I do go to a used bookstore, and I bought, about 3 years ago, I bought a couple books, and I use those book pages. They're philosophy and religion, ancient, you know, like ancient, old, vintage textbooks, actually. And I use those as book pages. I lived in Utah for a while, right up the street from a ward church. I'm not Mormon, but almost all of my neighbors were. Anyways, when the church was getting rid of their hymnals, they offered them to me because I was doing scrapbooking and stuff, and so I have those, and I use those for hymnals, you know. Let me see what else I have besides these strips that I could put right down here at this end in my scrap bag. Anyways, so I do have some hymnals. Oh, that's nice, but I'm looking for something a little more neutrally colored, maybe like that, or like that, or like this. Let's go up to about here. So anyway, so again, I just use that. That's the stuff I use, whatever I've accumulated, and I'm using up my old scrapbook papers from when I did physical scrapbooking. That's what this page was. And I want to cover that up right there. Yeah, so I just feel like I should be using up what I have before I go out and purchase more. So that's what I use. Okay, I don't know where I'm going with this thing. I'm thinking that I might need to sew some of these down to make sure they stay. But would I like to put something else in here? I don't think I necessarily want to totally cover up all the dots, but I do have some scraps that we could add to it, and then maybe I'll do just a couple of crossed, you know, like sew like this way a couple times, and then we'll cut it and see what we get. What do you think? I've got bunch of, what did I put down in my drawer? Oh, a bunch of leaves and different things that I was fussy cutting while I was watching videos. We could put some of these on here. Like, honestly, like, couldn't we put these on here? You know, I think we could. I'm gonna. I don't know how this is going to come out. I've never done anything quite like this. I mean, I collage, but I usually collage in my, in that math book, the old math book. You guys know that one, right? I usually collage my scraps in there. Got some of the book stuck on there. Let's see what else we got. Ooh, I think that would be good. Oh yeah, I think this will be cool. I have no idea. I'm going to cut this baby up, so we're going to see. Take a little bit of the straight edge off there. And if I use it up here, that'd be okay. Or down here. What else we got? Oh, look at there. Oh, we could put that there. I need to, yeah, we need to get a new glue book here. A new glue page, I mean, not a new glue book. Oh, this is crazy. Oh, look at all these little individual ones we can put on here. Oh, yeah. Let's do it. I sat watching videos, cutting these all out, and I have more pages of them. They were some old digitals, and they were like partial pages where I had used some of the leaves or the greenery in a journal. I'm going to guess because what was taken mostly out of it were the tropical kind of leaves, so I'm going to guess that I probably did the tropical journal and used them in that. Anyways, I saw these sitting and I thought, well, while I'm watching videos, maybe I'll cut them out. So that's cool. We can use these up. This is a tiny one. Anyways, I'm not making a journal where I could really use this much, but but we'll see. We'll see if it's good for anything once we cut it into tags and what we could use it for. Let's turn it this way and see what we got. Looks like I'm going to need to grab a new glue stick here. Be kind of cool, huh? Right there. Ooh. Yep, I'm at the end of my glue here. What do we got? One that I'd like to put one, thinking like maybe right in there. Okay, don't watch too close. Watch how I'm down to the end of this glue, so we're going to just make it work. It just drives me crazy that if you actually take all these, like I saved all my old ones and I got almost a half a thing of glue because I buy them by the case. I got almost a half of a one just by saving them all and piling it into an old one, because you can just put it in there like that. Okay. What do you say we cut these up? I'm going to put these in my drawer. And put these in my scrap bag. Okay. I'm thinking that maybe I might need to sew this around first, but maybe once I cut them, I can sew them. I think that's what we'll do, because I don't want to take the time to do that. So I'm going to get my cutter out and see what we can do. So I know for a fact that if I do, most of my tags are usually about 3 inches by certain lengths. So I'm just going to turn this over, and if I do like 3 inches here, oh, I got a little piece of paper sticking out. Okay. If I do 3 inches here, then we could, because it's 11 inches, we can get 2 5.5-inch tags. How about that? So we'll go, that's a little over 3, but that'll work. Oh, not bad. So let's do 5.5. Have a sip of coffee. Okay, so we want 5.5, like this. Oh, look at that. And then, right now, this is 5 inches. So if we do 4 by 5, let's do, okay, so there's 3 1/4. Let's do 3 1/2 by 5. And that'll be a journaling card. Oh, that'll be nice. Then we can do another 3 1/2 by 5 and another. We'll get 3 journaling cards and 2 tags. We like it. Actually, how big is this? I've got like 7 1/2. So if I do 5 1/4, I could end up with 2 small tags. I was thinking that I could do a, oh, I could do it this way. We can do a horizontal belly band. We'll make a horizontal belly band that will make exactly 3 inches, or a pocket. And then we have another journaling card. Look at that. Okay. Let's see what we can do with these babies. Okay, so we know that these 2 we want to be tags. So I want to cut those like this, and we turn it over. Whatever you took off, you just turn over. This is for beginners. Turn over, match up on the other side, and if you do that, then your corner cuts will be the same on both sides. But then when you have this one, we can just hold this one to it and use it as a template. So I'm going to turn it over so it's easier to see. So there, we have 2 tags. And this we're going to use as a belly band or a pocket. So let's do it this way. Okay, and then these are journaling cards, and we don't have to do, oh, this would sure make 2 cute small tags. Let's leave it as a journaling tag. Okay, so I do know that when I have tags and journaling cards, I like to round the corners. So I'm going to go ahead and get my corner rounder, and we'll just do 1/4 of an inch. And the reason I do that is when they go in pockets, it's easier for them to slide in because it's not, the corners don't get caught on anything. Okay, I will do that on these cards as well. Yeah, perfect. This came out pretty good. And we can still see some of the paper through it, but it still looks so nice. And this one, because it's going to be a pocket or whatever, I am not sure what I'm going to use it for. So if I make it a horizontal belly band, let me see what, it's 5 1/4, so it would make a good pocket. So let's make it a pocket. So I'm going to just use this 1 1/2 inch round, and I'm going to just make it so that the butterfly is facing up. I'm going to find the center. If it's 5 1/4, it'd be 2 1/2 and a little more. So that'd be right around here, should be my center. No real measurement involved here. And we're going to make that a pocket. Okay? And because it's a pocket, we don't need to round the corners or anything. Okay, I think I'm going to take those over, and should we decorate first and then sew? Or maybe not decorate, because I'm really not sure what I'm going to put on, where they're going to go. And so what I would use for a focal point. So I think I'm going to go ahead and sew them, and call that a video. It'll be a real short one and short and sweet. We love it. So we ended up using a piece of old scrap paper, and we ended up collaging my scraps on it, and we ended up with 2 journaling cards here. We got a little pocket out of it, and we got 2 tags. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you to my subscribers, past, present, and future. And I will see you all in the next video, everybody. Bye-bye.